Welcome to the PK Soul Show. Welcome to the PK Soul Show.
Hello, welcome to
PK Social.
I am Amber.
And I am Tammy.
And we are talking about Greenleaf.
Yes, Greenleaf.
Let's see. So it has finally gotten juicy.
Yeah, it's been a little dry lately.
Yeah, we're finally getting to the bottom of some of these scenarios they have started in this latest episodes. We have learned some news about some of the characters, and okay, we'll dive in and give you the backstory, all of that. So, Lady May is pretty much overly dramatic about everything in life, which I kind of love, I kind of hate. And she is at her laptop typing an email. She's at the church by herself late one night, and I guess she decides, let me email all my kids instead of meeting them in person and having to really talk about the divorce. So she emails her kids, and I think in one point they even made a point to show us that she CC'd the bishop on it. Anyway, so they are all at their laptops, and she sent it out at the same time, and it just shows us how each child is taking the news. But she emailed the kids that her and Bishop's divorce is final. So they are no longer together, but they're still going to be good parents, blah, 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 blah. Jacob and Carissa, we see them reading it. He's crying. Actually, everyone that was reading it cried. Charity is holding her baby and she's crying. Grace is reading it with Sophia. And does Grace cry?
I feel like Grace did cry.
Well, Charity was clearly broken up.
Yeah.
Jacob was clearly broken up.
Yeah, all of them were pretty broken up.
Grace didn't look broken up though. I feel like maybe she shed half a tear.
Well, maybe she couldn't connect.
Because girl, bye. She didn't even know.
Maybe she couldn't connect and didn't realize why.
Anyway,
so, we'll come back to that.
Yeah. So basically, we finally see this brewing divorce that has been brewing for so long has come to pass. We also see that Jacob and Carissa are going to have to pick up the pieces now that Tasha is gone, and Carissa decides, you know what, I'm going to step up, I'm going to fill these duties, which I feel like she wanted to do anyway. She did want to be able to play her first lady role, but she's a principal, so she had to handle her business elsewhere. But now that Tasha has skipped town, she doesn't have a choice, but she still embraces it. Like, okay, well, let me do what I need to do. That way I can do both. I can do my job and I can be more involved as first lady for the church, for her husband's church. So their first order of business is to hire an accountant. They hire an African accountant, and as soon as he comes on the scene, he instantly notices, hey, something funny is going on here. There is an account that, it appears to be suspicious. There's an account that has been set up and he can't follow what's going on with that account, but what he is able to follow is somebody has been withdrawing money. So, of course, Jacob doesn't know anything about it because Tasha and Rochelle have come up with this scheme. They didn't even know they were being played. And now it's about to boil over in all of their faces. So, so basically we see that the new accountant has discovered what Tasha has done. And now that Tasha is nowhere to be found, Jacob and Chris are going to have to figure some things out.
I really feel bad for Carissa because she has to constantly dive in and save the day with Jacob. It's annoying.
I feel like that's kind of what Lady May did.
Really? I don't see that.
Well, in her mind, like, she was the one to put out fires, although her method of putting out fires created more fires. She felt like
she just waved it with some paper and the paper caught on fire too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Carissa it seems like she keeps getting the short end of the stick, honestly.
She does.
Like,
She really does.
She doesn't even know. Well, she's going to learn by the end of the episode some things that she should have been knowing about Jacob. But yeah, she clearly gets the short end of the stick. In this episode, we also see Grace and Rochelle are still helping Coralie Hunter, who has murdered her husband, but she's saying it's self-defense because he was abusive. Rochelle decides to step in and help talk to Coralie because Coralie doesn't really know what to do. They keep offering her a plea deal, and Rochelle ends up telling her own story of, honestly, just fight this if you can, because what you don't want is for your children to end up in the system in foster parents' homes and things of that nature. So at that point, we learn, okay, Rochelle was a foster child. So Grace kind of pays attention to that as well. Like, okay.
Well, I don't think that's when she revealed it. Grace
yeah, she
understood something happened because she kept asking her. I remember Grace asking her, how do you have connections?
That was on another episode, and she just said, oh, I have friends. She never told her she was a foster child.
Right.
That didn't come out until this episode when she's trying to convince the lady don't take the deal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when Grace had the aha moment. But the questioning too, like, okay, I asked you about your DHS connection, but you never let me know that you were in foster care yourself. So anyway, we kind of put note of that, or Grace takes note of that, like, okay, this may be some information that I can go on to figure out why Rochelle is around. What does she really want? So, also we notice the bishop is walking around the church in one particular scene. It looks like he's minding his business, and lo and behold, there is Rochelle in the conference room, and she sees him walk by, and she pretty much tells him, okay, rumor has it that your divorce is official. They've told their children, but they haven't told anyone else. And of course, he's like, well, how do you know? And she pretty much tells him word gets around, and he's like, yeah, it's true. So of course, she's still scheming, and she's like, well, let's celebrate with drinks, and I can come and we can celebrate your divorce, basically. So of course, he falls for the okie doke and says okay. Also, Maxine, who is played by Patti LaBelle, is still hanging around until A Day with Lady May is done. So they're still planning for that. Let's see, what else? Oh, Zora, we see she is pretty much hanging tight with Isaiah. So he's working, he's doing radio.
We have a correction, guys.
Oh, you have a correction because it was your error, and I remember sitting there saying, are you sure? I don't think that's it. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's what it is. So
I don't think Isaiah is related to Basie's.
He's not Basie's
son. I don't know. I just have a funny feeling he's not. Connection.
No,
but they're not father and son. So I'd like to apologize for my previous recollection that really wasn't accurate. So
it wasn't accurate.
It wasn't accurate. But yeah, Zora's still with him, and it's bless the heart. It's just hard for me to watch somebody with so much potential just let it go to waste on this young man. She found out she was accepted to Spelman, and she basically probably won't go because of him. He basically made her feel like she's not good enough. So it's just a sad situation.
Oh yeah, he said she dropped out of high school. He was like, you can't go because you're a dropout or something.
Yeah, and it's so sad.
Which I didn't realize. I guess she did have to quit school to go on the road with him. So yes, now on top of her making this decision to go with her abusive boyfriend, she has dropped out of school. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Yeah. But my thing is, since that's the case, I didn't even think about it. Her parents kept saying she's an adult. Like, she can do what she wants. But if she's still in school, technically they can still step in. I feel like the law wouldn't be able to say, well, she's an adult, she can't do this. Because at the same time, if your child not going to school, then you can be the one to get into truancy trouble or something, right?
Well, she's 18.
Oh, so it's her choice to drop out.
Yeah.
Oh, well, never mind. Okay, so yes, we see that Zora is pretty much on the path of ruining her life. On this episode, we also Well, I guess the main thing that we learn is Lionel, who was friends with the Bishop and Lady May. And we already learned that Lionel and Lady May had an affair. But what we also learn is he's in the hospital. He has cancer and he's pretty much going to die. And it's going to be sooner than later.
Right.
So he's requested, basically, he wants to see Lady May. Mm-hmm. And he wants to talk to her. Of course, she doesn't want to see him. She doesn't want to talk to him. But because he has the cancer, she is going to agree to hear him out, see what it is that he wants with her. So when she finally arrives, or when she finally goes to see him, the first thing he says is, I want to talk to you about my daughter. So boom, boom, explosives, bombs, everything. Dun, dun, dun. So we finally learn when they had this affair, they had a child, which is clearly...
Well, okay. Here's what I don't appreciate about... To me, the plot is still unclear. Because she's going to... The daughter, whoever the daughter is, will have to take a test. Because Lady May never confirms if she's the child or not. If she never confirms she had the child. Like he said, my daughter, and it does imply that it's with Lady May, but you still don't know. We still don't know.
How do we not know?
Okay, we're gonna get into that on. Well, we can get into that now because we're continuing to talk.
Well, yeah, this is how this episode ended. So the next episode still picks up with...
Okay, so now we're on a new episode. Great. So on the new episode, or the latest episode, when she talked about the daughter to her friend Maxine, Pastor Maxine, she mentioned she didn't confirm if Grace is the child. The child in question is Grace, that Lionel implies on the end of it, on the previous episode. But when she's discussing it on the latest episode, you don't know. We still don't know if it's Grace. So we're still there's gonna have to be a test between Grace and the Bishop.
We know it's Grace.
She said she doesn't know. She said,
who did she say? I don't know.
She said that to Maxine. The timing is right, but she doesn't know for sure. And she told
Grace,
she did.
Don't know. She did say she didn't know for certain.
I feel like he may have jumped the gun. We don't know. It does seem like all circumstances seem to.
I feel like she doesn't know
that she is. So now a test will have to be conducted between she and Bishop to know, because of course on this next episode Lionel dies. So we don't know. He couldn't test. He's just assuming because of the timing that it's his child. But we still don't know. She didn't. It's not like she did
say she didn't know, but it's almost like she didn't take the steps to know because she feels
she's nervous to find out what really happened. But now we know Grace, and Grace is going to get to the bottom of it. Yeah, so Grace is going to have to take a test, and she doesn't have a choice but to take the test to see if he's her dad or not, Bishop, because she can't test Lionel.
Yeah, she can't test Lionel,
which could be a whole other plot if she did sleep with someone else other than Lionel during the same. This woman is so twisted. We don't even know if Lady May only had one affair. I don't think she slept
with somebody else. I
don't know.
I think she doesn't know because of the timing. I don't think she doesn't know because she's thinking, oh, it could have been this man. It could have been this man. Like, I don't think that's why she said she didn't know.
I don't know. It's Lady May. I can't put anything past Lady May because she's crazy. Well, but you're correct. We really don't know. I just hate that Grace is left hanging, and I wonder within the next couple of episodes, or if this will be something that happens next season when they truly find out who her father is.
Or she may start trying to put pieces together now, but she probably won't get that confirmation this season because there's only 2 episodes left. So I don't know. Maybe I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
So yeah, that episode ends with the paternity thing, and then we do see more of the paternity issue in the next episode, which is the very latest episode. That episode, besides the paternity, we also learn
IRS. No, FBI.
FBI.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, thank you.
Which is weird. Why would the FBI come and it was IRS issues? But anyway.
Yeah. So basically, the boom factor on this episode was everything is about to come crashing down. Rochelle and Tasha are almost at the point where
Rochelle and Basie.
Yeah, Rochelle and Basie
come full circle.
Are
Basie is
the
back
point.
on the scenes. I don't know if we mentioned that.
We did not mention
Basie is back, and so his plan with his half sister Rochelle, is coming full circle. I'm very interested in seeing who Tara or Tara is, because Tara is clearly. They need to introduce her unless she's passed. Her actual sister. Rochelle has another sister that we also learned about on this past episode. So we're trying to see if... I think that they're going to introduce their other sibling.
Yeah, we do learn that.
Alive.
Well, we learned that in the episode before this, when Grace... We didn't talk about that. When Grace and Darius go to the foster mother's house and they ask about Rochelle... And the lady's like, oh, I do remember her. She had a sister, but her last name wasn't Cross. It was James, blah, blah, blah. So, yes, I didn't even think about that. I guess they will eventually have to bring... Well, I don't know why they would have to bring the sister into it, but it's possible. They very well could. Or she could be somewhere already on the scene going by another name, clearly.
Yeah, that we don't know about.
So, yeah, we will have to see how that plays out. But anyway, Rochelle and her brother Basie Skanks, their plan is pretty much happening. They can almost celebrate the FBI bust in the church. They start taking people's laptops. Yeah. They're
both churches.
Yeah, both churches.
They basically
go to Jacob's
both
church.
Churches, confiscate everything, and now it's a full
which is when we learn
investigation.
We learned too. They go to Jacob's church because of this account that mysteriously popped up. But in this episode, we see that account was what Rochelle used to take money from the bishop's...
I'm still confused to that plot.
The bishop, in his mind, he was investing in the cryptocurrency account. But the account that his money actually went to was the account Jacob had set up that he didn't know he had set up. So the money that he gave Rochelle for the investment, she actually made it seem like Jacob took the money. So it looks like Jacob is over at Triumph.
Well, see, it doesn't make any sense because she signed for the $200,000. I'm
saying it backwards. She made it seem like Jacob withdrew that money that the bishop invested, because the amount was $200,000, which was what the bishop
thought it was
$250.
I thought one of them had an amount of $250. So I kind of feel like,
or maybe it was $250 or $200.
They said $2, but I thought initially
I don't remember it being $250.
So the account that she set up through Jacob is the account Jacob signed to set an account.
No, Jacob signed to withdraw the
money
bishop
from the account.
The bishop, in his mind, he was signing for an investment, but really, that was the money. She needed the money, and she used Bishop's money instead of her own money to set up.
This is what irks me about Jacob. Jacob pretty much had a confession had he recorded it. When he finally, after the FBI came and the new accountant actually told them he felt something was suspicious, but of course they didn't know what happened.
Right.
Only Tasha knew. But when he called Tasha to finally talk to her, he never recorded any conversation, which was crazy.
What did she say that he would have needed to record?
It's like she basically kind of implicated herself when she was nervous and didn't know what to say. But he could have really pushed her.
But I'm saying, how did she implicate her? I don't remember.
Well, she did come back, and
she said she didn't remember anything.
Even when she called and kept admitting how scared she was, it just...
Now the second time she called,
Jacob is handling it completely wrong as usual.
Well, yeah,
and even with Carissa seems to be stepping in to try to maneuver the situation, manage it the best way she can. And what's really sad is she realized that he really does care.
She did realize. There was a scene where she pretty much told him, call her, get her on the phone, let's try to figure something out. And she did answer the phone, but the next time they talked, at this point, Tasha was actually scared. Her husband is back, and he's pretty much upset because Rochelle has told him Tasha got caught up. Her feelings got involved while we were supposed to be taking this man down, and she has developed feelings for Jacob, which Basie hates because he hates the Greenleafs anyway. So now this is just another fuel to the fire, because now he realizes, okay, while I was gone, my wife pretty much fell for you. So anyway, that's probably going to be more ammunition for Basie Thanks to continue to try to bring them down and cause a disarray in their lives. But yes, at one point there was a conversation between Jacob and Tasha. Caressa was looking at his body language, looking at how he was talking to her, and she realized, you tried to make me think that there was nothing going on. No, you didn't sleep with her or didn't have an affair, but she could tell by his body language that he has feelings for Tasha. Which probably is just yet another dagger for her. Not only did the kiss take place, but he has feelings for another woman now. So anyway, throughout the episode, Lady Mae kind of wrestles with herself. She does not want to have this conversation with Grace. She doesn't want to have this conversation with Grace about who her father could possibly be. So the whole episode, she is just dodging it at all costs. Although she realizes she needs to have the conversation, because on this episode, Lionel dies. He was battling with the cancer. His son let Lady Mae know that something went wrong with his chemo, and it took him out. So now, when she learns that news, instead of her doing the right thing and just telling Grace, this is what was going on, he's not alive anymore, but you still should know, she decides she doesn't have to tell Grace now, because the man is dead.
She really did think about it. Grace
she is not going to tell, or she decided she wasn't going to tell her.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Really, Lady Mae?
And I hate to
Grace even looked at her like, Grace understood. You ain't sorry. It was just interesting. It was very interesting.
It was typical Lady Mae. Like, this man is dead.
Right.
But in the Lady Mae way, you find the silver lining in his death, which is, now I don't have to tell
When I tell you, she saw it on her face instantly.
Yeah,
when he called and said, Dad passed. Well, he was a good man. Lady Mae is just too much for TV. She really is. She's too much for TV.
Lady Mae is a mess, but I hate to love her.
Which makes it worse. Because even at the end, you can see Grace's disappointment when she went to see her mom in the sanctuary. Her mom's getting ready.
I feel like Grace was trying to open the door. Like, I want to see. I'm gonna give you a chance
to come clean.
And Lady Mae was gonna grab her briefcase and walk clean out.
She did. She grabbed her briefcase and was walking clean out before Grace just had to ask her.
She pretty much told her, "I've talked to Lionel," and I guess I should have realized that. That man was, not Lionel. Lionel's son, Aaron. I guess we should have realized Lionel, he pretty much knows Lady Mae. So he probably knew if something happened to him, she was not going to do the right thing.
The son. I actually saw a recent posting. Follow quite a few.
Yeah, I'm not following any more of the posts you follow, because clearly that's where your wrong information comes from.
No,
that's
showed
how
a clip.
You said the boy was somebody else's son.
They showed a clip of when Aaron first started to come around, and Lady Mae was feeding him something at the house, and he told her, "Your secret will always be safe with me." He knew way back when they introduced them, like a season ago. It's like he did know. It's like Lionel.
But I thought at that point, the secret was the affair. It wasn't necessarily, because we didn't even know.
Well, I wonder if he knew and just didn't say anything. I wonder if the son always knew if Grace was his sister.
I feel like he didn't. I feel like he always knew.
Or he feels that Grace would be the sister. Since they're thinking Grace is his sister based on the timing of the affair. But
he may have, had a hunch, like, okay, if they had an affair and it was, let's say Grace is 40. If the affair was 40 years ago, it probably did cross his mind, like, you had a child the same year you had an affair with
Right.
You know, so I don't know, but clearly before Lionel died, they made us think he knew Lady Mae wasn't going to tell, so he decided to tell his son to carry the news. That's what it looked like to me. So yes, Grace did try to give Lady Mae that last glimpse of hope. Like, I hope, you know, you would do the right thing when you know that I'm coming to you. Like, why else would I be coming to you about your former lover's death? You know. So anyway, Lady Mae, in classic Lady Mae style, just it's like even when Grace says it or Grace tells her, she doesn't react the way she should have reacted. It's almost like, well, sorry for you. I don't know and I don't care to know, so I'm just gonna walk away now. Like, you're right.
Yeah.
Yes. There is a possibility. I don't know. It is what it is. So
I mean, she's not even thinking properly. Like, Maxine is trying to tell her to get ahead of it. But if Grace gets ahead of it, knowing how your mother has been bitter towards you for all these years
and that did make sense.
continues
I
to
did
be
wonder,
bitter,
why does she hate this girl so much?
even in the coming episode, like at her day with Lady Mae or whatever,
right,
Grace makes an entrance with her supposedly half brother. I mean, I feel like it's going to become an issue because Lady Mae is constantly trying to avoid dealing with it.
Yeah.
So she's making it worse for herself. She's actually making it much worse for herself.
So there are 2 episodes left. I guess we will see what happens with Grace.
Yeah.
And her mother and her new half brother, if it comes out. Yes. I feel like it's gonna come out that that's her dad, but we have to wait on the final confirmation, however they get it, whoever gets the, you know, if Bishop gets involved and decides he does want to find out and they take the test. I don't know. But there are 2 episodes left, so we will just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, we will.
Thank you guys for tuning in. You can contact us, thepksocial@gmail.com, and also follow us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter at the PK Social.
And we really want to hear from you guys. So let us know what you think. What are your episodes? Who are your favorite characters? So reach out to us and let us know.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great week.